ABC October 6th.
Cold case in Alaska. Her death is part of a pattern.
Television's most anticipated new drama.
Another missing and murdered Indigenous woman.
And we need to show who's to blame.
Two-time Academy Award winner Hilary Swank stars
We can choose to fight and report the news.
in the fall's biggest mystery.
Show up and start asking questions. Be careful.
We're going to break this story together.
Alaska Daily, series premiere Thursday, October 6th on ABC and stream on Hulu.
You're listening to Satellite Sisters.
What's a satellite sister?
The person you call when the best thing in your life happens or the worst.
The person that gets you up, gets you going, and gets you through.
And every once in a while, changes your mind.
This podcast is part pep talk, part weekly check-in.
Like grabbing coffee with a friend.
Thanks for being here. Welcome to the Satellite Sisterhood. You are listening to Satellite Sisters, and we're always so happy to be here. I'm Liz Dolan. I live in Santa Monica, California, with my dog Hooper, who's laying, if you can see over my shoulder, he's laying on the bed behind me. I am a marketer and a fan of deep water aerobics, which we are coming back to later on in the show.
Okay. Well, hi, Liz. This is Julie.
Hi, Julie.
I am the eldest sister. Okay. Thanks to Satellite Sister listener Bonnie. She told me that I should not say I'm the oldest sister. I should say I'm the eldest. Okay. So this is my new title, eldest.
That makes it sound like you're in an Edith Wharton novel or something.
Okay. No, I'm just in Dallas, Texas, and I'm a podcaster, and I'm not in a novel. But so happy to be with you here today, right?
Okay. So breaking news, Leanne is not here today. And here's why. This is the final week before she has the first draft of her new novel due to her publisher in New York. So she is hunkered down finishing that. She's on it, right, Jewel? She's totally on it.
I think I have not been communicating with her, didn't want to disturb her. If she's in a writing zone, I want her to keep writing. Mm-hmm. She felt confident she was going to make her deadline, and we wish her well. Yes.
I did notice, though, if you follow Leanne on Facebook, Leanne Dolan, yesterday she posted something about mini poodles.
I saw that. So apparently she's taking mini poodle breaks, but it's related to her new book, which we don't know anything about. Okay. That's the other. Don't ask us questions about her new book. We don't know anything. Okay?
We don't know. We never answer on her behalf. So anyway, so here we go. With an opening in the lineup, we thought this was the perfect time to get an update from special guest Sheila Dolan.
I know. Isn't this exciting? You know, longtime listeners know that Sheila is one of our middle sisters. Okay. I mean, technically you're sort of a middle sister and our sister Monica is sort of a middle sister, but Sheila is the most middle of the middle sisters. And she is mere weeks away from becoming a first-time grandmother, which is just so exciting. And so I am going to be providing Sheila with some grandmother guidance. Okay. These are not, I mean, she will make her own way with her new grandchild, but I'm going to provide some insights that I've learned along the way as a grandmother and Nana.
Okay. So Sheila will be joining us in a bit, but also we're going to talk about our satellite sisters of the week, and that would be Roger Federer and Rafa Nadal, right?
Yes. Yes. They really are our satellite sisters of the week, Liz. Good point.
So plus, Julie, on the serious side, you lived in Russia for 5 years. So you're going to be providing some perspective, answering some of my questions on all things Putin, because the news from Russia is, let's just say, not good.
No, correct, Liz. That would be good. Yes.
Okay. But we're coming back to that. Let's warm up with the Big Ten, shall we? So you spent the weekend in State College, Pennsylvania. Yes. You and your husband both went to graduate school there. Correct. I can remember driving to Penn State many times to visit you. So how's everything in Happy Valley?
Well, I mean, good, Liz. I'm so glad you remembered it was Happy Valley. Yes. My husband and I are members of a society there, okay, as alums, okay? It's not a group. It's not a board. It's It's not a council, it's a society. I can't explain it, but that's what it is. So from time to time, and certainly we haven't been since before COVID. So we were very happy to make the journey to State College, Pennsylvania. But we were most happy that we had a lot of time for one-on-one conversations with faculty and students. So, I mean, great insight, Liz, about what's going on campuses sort of in the post-COVID era. I mean, first, when you think about it, I mean, State College, Penn State, like a lot of universities, they've been operating completely remotely in terms of all their instructions. But this year, students are back. But you know what the faculty were saying? A couple of things. Number one, they said that students are going to have to learn how to study again, which I was sort of surprised at that. Yeah, the faculty members said, that during COVID and with the remote learning, all the tests, quizzes, exams were open book. That was the only way they could do it.
Because you couldn't pretend otherwise, because there was no supervision over the students taking the tests.
Right.
Yeah.
So for the last year and a half, everything has been open book. So, but this year, not so much. And
buckle down, kids.
Okay, so that's a big switch for students. And for many students who've just started at universities, they don't, so some new skills are being developed this fall.
Okay.
They also said it was particularly hard on grad students, because grad students, there's a whole mentoring process that goes on between faculty members and the grad students. A lot of one-on-one, and they didn't have the opportunity to do that.
Yeah.
I mean, the Zoom calls, we all know, they just wasn't the same. So they're really happy that everyone's back. But they did say the third thing, the observation that struck me is things are still kind of optional on campus. Like if at any time as a student, you feel like you want to opt out and do the course online or not show up for class or not show up to participate in extra seminars or group meetings, you don't have to show up. So guess what's happening?
I gotta say, when I imagine that for me in my college years, every morning when I woke up, I got to ask myself, do I really want to go, or could I just do it here from my room? I mean, I'm guessing half the time I might have just opted out.
There's some opting out. That's what the faculty said. I mean, they have some participation, but they can't guarantee participation. And they, and there's no penalty right now for opting out. So there's opting out. Okay. The students that we talked to, what a treat, to really sit one-on-one with students, talking to them about their futures, what they like about school and everything. That was really fun for us. They are so happy to be back on campus. I mean, Liz, think about how miserable it was. I mean, they talked about many of them had rented apartments in State College, so they couldn't get out of the rent. So they stayed in their apartments and just were on Zoom calls and on the computer all day. That's all they did for a year.
Terrible.
Just dreadful. Yeah. So they're really happy that they can be back in classes, that they can be in laboratories, that they can be interacting with other students, and that. But I asked a couple of the students, I said, what is their biggest, sort of challenge on campus this fall? And they said time management, because they actually have to go to places and show up at things.
I'm finding that even in my life.
Yes. Time management. Yes.
You are correct. Yeah.
So,
okay.
But that, it was great to see. It was great to be, after what has been such a hard time, and we've all had a hard time, to just see that engagement again, and to think that I think there's a lot of optimism on campus that better days are ahead. So that's good. Now, I will say the one thing that there was no opting out of is the big game, Liz, the Big Ten game. Yes, Penn State had a home football match this weekend against Central Michigan. Penn State, which is good.
All right. Nittany Lions. I remember that.
Lions. Okay, Liz. Okay. 106,000 people in the stadium. Okay, the stadium Yeah, 106,000. So no, not much opting out of that. The student section was going crazy. Now, Liz, when we were grad students, we didn't have a lot of money and we certainly didn't have a lot of time. So we really didn't go to a lot of football games. So we went this time and we had a great time because of the production of it, which has gotten, so much bigger in the last couple of decades, I'll say.
Sure.
I mean, do you know there was a DJ on the field, Liz, during the whole game?
You're kidding.
No, DJ on the field. But I like that. But at the same time, they still have baton twirlers. Okay. You got to love that. I mean, I haven't seen baton twirling in quite some time. They have
I bet there's a lot. You live in Texas. You could find some
again, I'm sure if we go to the big games here, they would have baton twirling. They have dance troops, they have cheerleaders. I mean, we have the blue band, which is enormous and fantastic. So there's just fireworks. The student section is out of control. They have so much enthusiasm. So all in all, it was a very, exciting and fun time to be in State College in Happy Valley.
That's so great. Yeah, I know we have a lot of listeners who work in university environments. We would love to hear, what are you experiencing? Is it great to be back? What are the things that are still hard? It was a quick transition to go remote, but I'm sure it's also a jarring transition to try to bring it all back and get it all going again.
And it's not, again, Penn State has instituted a flexible workplace, Liz.
Oh.
So again,
they're opting out too.
There's a lot of opting out. People are not, they're not always in the buildings. There's a flexible time. And so that just a lot of flexibility going on there. And there may be some gaps that as an alum, that's what I was worried about. But we'll see. We'll see.
Okay. All right. Well, that's nice. That sounds like a fun weekend in State College. I'm happy you and your husband could do that. But now I have some more serious questions for you, Julie, because we are very lucky here at Satellite Sisters that we have a Russian expert on staff, and that is you. You and your husband lived in Russia for 5 years. I visited Russia twice, but I do not have the expertise that you have. And there's just so much Russian news. Could I just ask you a couple of questions about all the news that's coming out?
Sure.
Now, obviously, since Putin declared war on Ukraine, it's just very hard to keep up with what is really happening. So, question number one, Putin. You've always said that you're keeping your eyes on him.
Yes.
And you've never trusted him.
No.
You've always said he's worse than we can even imagine. Sometimes I get the feeling now that his master plan is to restore the Soviet Union. When you think about him, what is he after? What does Vladimir Putin really want?
Well, I do think he wants territory, Liz. And I think he's showing the world that he wants the territory, I've said this to you, when we lived in Moscow, I mean, they never took down the maps of the former Soviet Union. Everywhere you went, whether it was museums or public buildings, they had, the maps of, Russia's greatness during the Soviet period of the Soviet Union. And, I do think that he feels like this territory, in particular in Ukraine, is Russian and that he is reclaiming this in the name of Russia. Mm-hmm. And I think it is like a zero-sum game. I've also mentioned that my husband, who did business in Russia, said that the negotiating style for most Russians is I win or we both lose. I mean, that's
okay. There's no win-win.
There's no win-win. So the idea that perhaps Putin might enter into negotiations, peace negotiations, I don't think that's really going to happen. I think it's, unfortunately, I think, we're looking at a much longer war because of this I win or we both lose approach to negotiating. So.
Okay. All right. So that takes us to my question number 2, which is, so last week he declared this mobilization of Russian men, which is just a widespread draft of Russian men back into the military, right? And it has not gotten a great reaction in Russia. So what do you make of what's happening with the mobilization?
I mean, well, from my experience, that the Russians I knew did everything they could to keep their sons out of the military, because the military, even when I was there, was very undersupplied. Mothers complained to me that if their sons went into the army, they weren't fed. They didn't have any food. There was also a great deal of brutality. There wasn't a lot of discipline in the ranks between the Russian officers and the new recruits. So the hazing was really intense.
Oh, wow.
So that's the starting point. So now in the middle of a protracted war, I can imagine that, that people are trying to get out of serving in the military because it's even worse. And that's why you see so many countries that border Russia have now closed their borders, Liz, because people were trying to get out. They want to, they're trying to not serve in the military. I saw that last week, one of the big Google searches in Russia was how to break your arm. At one point,
I heard that.
Did you see that?
Right? Yeah,
that was a peak search, and it was anything you could do to get out of your arm, to get out of the army. I mean, people used to try to bribe their way out of the army. I mean, I heard stories about that. So, I think. I do think that they are, again, because either they're going to win or both sides are going to lose. There is this escalation going on for sure.
It must be really terrifying for a lot of Russians
Yes.
who I think maybe were a little bit blindsided by this because the news they get is not true.
That's right.
They're only seeing the propaganda. So all of a sudden to have this major draft must have been shocking.
And I know there has been protests, and I know, but I think that Putin will really just clamp down. I mean, that you will see an intensification of the police state that is going on in Russia, because he is still selling his oil, so that some of the economic harm that we hope to, impose on Russia through the sanctions hasn't really worked that well, because China and India is, they're still buying Russian oil.
Okay. All right. Now, the third area I want to ask about is much more personal. It's much more family oriented. Your daughter-in-law, Vera, is Russian.
That's correct.
She met your son when they were both working in Moscow. I believe your grandchildren speak Russian, right?
Yes, they do, Liz. Yes.
So
they don't like Nana to speak Russian.
Oh.
They have from an early age, they were like, Nana, please don't speak Russian. That hurts my ears. They just laugh at my pronunciation of things.
Yeah.
So
I know that Vera is very proud of her heritage. She grew up in Kyrgyzstan, but of Russian ethnicity. So what does Vera make of this?
I mean, this is really painful for Vera because she obviously objects to what Putin is doing. And it is very hard for her, as an American citizen, but of Russian, of descent, to watch this brutality. I mean, she really doesn't like to talk about it too much. Her parents are in Kyrgyzstan. They're safe. And so I know she always worries about them. But Vera is very proud of her Russian heritage, of the culture, the history, the traditions. And she has really tried to provide that for her children, too. So, very important that they speak the language and that they, they have all gone to Russian school here in Dallas, Texas.
Oh, really? I didn't even know that. So that's like they go to an after-school program that they go to.
On Saturdays, they go to a Russian school so that they can learn again about Russian culture and history and traditions. And they've all enjoyed it, and it's all been fun for them. So, but certainly now I've noticed with the older kids that they don't really like to talk about it a lot either, because it is really painful and because it is so devastating what's going on in Ukraine. And, there's so many innocent people have been killed or harmed by Putin's aggression. So it's a difficult situation, Liz, no doubt about it.
Yeah, because Alice, your oldest granddaughter, she's a freshman in high school now, right?
Sophomore, Liz, yes.
Sophomore,
yeah.
Sophomore. Okay. Whew, my God.
Yeah, I know. Stay up. Stay with it, Liz. Okay.
No, but I'm sure in any high school environment, there's a lot of conversation about what's going on in that part of the world now when they hear there's a war in Europe. She must have a very unique perspective on that, even when she's talking to her classmates in Dallas. And she's, obviously raised in America. So she's an American, but that must be super hard.
Yeah. I mean, and I think they have some sense, they understand propaganda, which is good. And I think that if any lesson, for a young person, that they understand how a government can use propaganda to really support a particular cause, and that I think it will make them smarter, as they grow up, because they understand that.
Okay. Wow. This is going to go on for a long time, don't you
I
think?
think so. That's what I'm afraid, that again, that I don't see. I think the fact that he is, bringing up these troops, I don't know how long it will take to train them, but it doesn't sound like he's interested really into entering into any kind of peace negotiations, because the Russians or Putin doesn't negotiate.
That's not what they
the
do.
problem. Right.
Okay. Well, we are lucky to have you here as our consultant.
I hope now that I brought everybody down with that.
No, now we're going to totally bring people up because we have the return of Sheila Dolan. We have a lot of new listeners over the past year, and a lot of them were introduced to Sheila this summer, Julie, when we ran some classic episodes. And
yes, she has a starring role in many classic episodes. Yes,
she does. Really, if there's an episode that we have marked hilarity ensues, chances are that features Sheila prominently. But today we wanted to talk to her because she's entering a whole new era in her life. Her first grandchild is due in just a few weeks.
Yeah, I'm so excited. We have lots of questions for her and some guidance.
Julie, isn't this exciting? We have a brand new sponsor we are already in love with. Base, right?
Oh, I can't wait to talk about this, Liz. Yes.
Okay, so Base makes sleek and affordable bags, luggage, and accessories designed to help you travel effortlessly and fashionably. So that is a good combo. Julie, we're both veteran travelers. I hear you tried out the same piece I did, the weekend bag. Super functional, right?
I loved it, Liz. Okay, the weekend bag, what's really nice is it has a shoe compartment on the bottom of the bag. So like my dirty hiking shoes that I love to use, I just slipped those right in the bottom, Liz. They didn't commingle with my clothing. I don't like that, okay? And it's stylish, it's sporty. I was able to just put it right in the car. I looked like I was going somewhere important this weekend.
That's what I thought. It's really perfect for throwing in the back of your car for a weekend away. But then on top of that, the suitcase has 360-degree gliding wheels, a cushion handle, built-in weight indicator, washable bags for your dirty clothes. We love those. And all the interior pockets you need to keep organized. Plus, did you check out the colors? In addition to black, beige, and gray, they have this beautiful color they call Atlas pink. Yes. What I love about that is you're always going to be able to spot that on the carousel, right?
Right. It's a real statement bag for statement travel. That's what I think.
So true. So check it out. Right now, Base, we're pronouncing it Base, but it's spelled differently. So Base is offering our listeners 15% off your first purchase by visiting basetravel.com. Now, Base is BEIS, sisters. So pay attention to that spelling. Go to BEIStravel.com/sisters for 15% off your first purchase. That's BEIStravel.com/sisters. BEIStravel.com/sisters. Julie, have you noticed that whenever we talk about food and the key ingredients of our meals, we use words like fresh and organic and wild caught, right?
Right, Liz, because we like to eat the best.
Yeah, that's right. And that's why Butcher Box provides so much peace of mind. We know this is high quality meat and seafood that we really trust. It's humanely raised. There are no antibiotic or added hormones. I also particularly love the convenience of having it delivered right to my door. So it's waiting for me in my freezer. Steak, seafood, pork chops, or pork tenderloin. All my favorites.
Liz, you sound so enthusiastic.
Well, we've been saying how much we love Butcher Box for years now.
True.
But here is a very special deal. Okay, so sign up today at butcherbox.com/sisters to get 2 10-ounce New York strip steaks and 8 ounces of lobster claw and knuckle meat free in your first order, plus $10 off your first box.
Wow.
That is a deal. Steak and lobster, it's a pretty classy combo, right, Julie?
I think it's such a good thing to have in your freezer for a big night, Liz.
Totally, a big night. So sign up today at butcherbox.com/sisters. That's butcherbox.com/sisters. And we are back and we are super excited. Look who's here. It's Sheila Dolan. Sheila, welcome back to Satellite Sisters.
Thank you so much, sisters. It's great to be back. Woo! The dream team, Julie and Liz.
It's so funny sitting here looking at you. We left our videos on because it's you, and this is a special occasion. So you are sitting in your bedroom closet, and Julie is sitting in her bedroom closet.
That's right. But Julie's closet looks a lot more glamorous than mine.
Yours looks very cozy, Sheila. I like it. I think it's good.
All things cozy.
New York City closet. So Julie, I feel like it's your job to welcome Sheila into urban nanahood.
Yes, of course, as our listeners know, Sheila is going to be a grandmother because her daughter Ruthie and her husband Jeremy are expecting their first child in, Sheila, are we saying the due date? When
October 12th, a baby girl.
Exciting. That's so exciting.
Girl.
So excited.
Well, Sheila, there's an old expression, and Mom bought a pillow for me when I think she got it at Tuesday Morning. What's that place called?
No.
Tuesday Morning. But it's a cute little pillow, and it had an embroidered on it. It says, "When a child is born, so is a grandmother."
Oh,
think
Julie.
about that. I have another friend, Julie, and she is going to make me a pillow with that phrase on there. I think it's a nice old wives phrase. And when it's ready, Sheila, you're going to get one of those. But
I cannot wait.
Yes. I know, but this is a big moment. I mean, yes, it's a big moment for the new parents and obviously for the baby, but it's a big moment for you because you are going to be taking on a new role.
Huge, Julie. I mean, I just cannot believe it.
Yeah.
And from everything you've told me and everything everyone else has shared with me, it's kind of the best job in the world, isn't it?
It is.
I mean, isn't it just free loving all the time?
You are just pouring love on that child nonstop. That's your only job. That's the whole job description. Just pour the love on that child. Okay. That's your job,
Yes.
And there's nothing more fulfilling. In fact, what people tell you about it's going to be even more wonderful than that. I think you really underestimate the connection that you are going to make with this new human being. I'm so excited for you, Sheila.
So how are you feeling, Sheila? Are you nervous?
I feel a little bit nervous, but basically ready and willing. And I have all sorts of ideas of how I can be the best grandmother in the world. But I need to run some of these ideas by you, Julie, because you are truly an urban nana, which I will be.
Yes.
And yet this is 2022 and things have changed and there are all sorts of new people that could get in the mix, like doulas and all sorts of people like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to run some things by you, Julie.
Okay.
Oh, this is going to be good. Okay.
All right. Go ahead.
Okay. So
And Liz, feel free to just chime in with your advice.
It's not my area of expertise, but sure. And there's loads of advice waiting for you in the Satellite Sisters Facebook group. But go for it, Sheila.
okay, so as you said, it's the best job in the world.
Mhm.
But here's the thing, I have a full-time job that I need to go to during the day,
Yes.
unfortunately. So I
Mhm.
can't just spend all day with baby. So I wanted to propose to my daughter and her husband just sort of like a package. I want to offer them a package that I'm willing to do the 2 times a week during the week and then once on the weekend. So stay with me.
I'm
So
listening.
I
I'm
work
listening.
full-time in a school. Now, I'm normally absolutely wrung out at the end of the day.
Because you
But I
give your all
with-
to your students. That's the reason
Right.
why. Yes.
But am I wrong in assuming like when the baby's born, I'll have a newfound energy, Julie? I mean, will I be able to
Yeah.
spring into action at 3:30 every afternoon and get down there by 4? Because what I would like to propose is a package between 4 and 6. I would like to go down and offer my daughter and her husband a cleaning dinner package during the week. Maybe
Ooh.
twice a week, Julie. First, let's
Sheila,
start with that.
I think it's a fantastic idea. Fantastic idea. Okay, first of all, you are going to have the energy because you are going to meet this human being and you're going to fall so in love with this child. Like that's all you're going to want to do.
I'll be
You
racing
won't-
out of I'll
you
be
won't-
racing out of school.
And then the other thing that your package, what I love about it, Sheila, is it allows the parents to be the parents. Okay.
Yes.
One of the pieces of advice I was going to give to you is like, zip it. Do not say a word.
No.
Your main job is cleaning. It's making sure that Ruthie has enough water if she's nursing.
Yes.
It is just moving quietly, silently around
Yes.
and cooking a meal. Perfect, Sheila. I love this idea. And even if they don't know they're going to need it, within a week they'll realize that they want the Sheila Dolan package. Yes.
Okay, so that's my weekly package. Now, I ran this by Sister Monica yesterday.
Yeah.
We did a mini Lab Rats reunion where I told her that I might do this package. She said, cooking. She said, you cook? And I said, yes, I know how to cook. I know how to cook, but I've never had a nice kitchen before.
Right.
Guess who has a nice kitchen?
Ruthie and Jeremy.
They have a full kitchen.
The parents are good.
You did make dinner for Ruthie every day when she was a child. So
Yes, I did.
Right
From
there in New York City, in downtown NYC. So
Yes.
you've been through this routine before.
I've been through this, but I've always appreciated her comment years later when she said how much she loved my blackened chicken before blackened chicken was all the rage. So because I forgot it was under the broiler. But anyway. Okay. So
Sheila, that's new parents just want a hot meal. Okay. And I
yes.
love the hours that you're going down, that 4 to 6 in the afternoon. That's what our mother of 8 children, she used to refer to it as the witching hour. Like things just, the parents are exhausted.
Yes.
The baby is tired.
Yes.
You're trying to stretch that baby out so that you can put the baby down for the night.
Liz, you're laughing. It's
It's
stretching the baby out. That's
yes,
what I'm
no,
not
you
familiar
are.
Yes, stretching. That was one of Mom's key verbs. That you're just stretching them out between the nursings, between the naps. Just stretch that baby out. Yeah.
Yes.
Because you have to teach the baby how to sleep. The baby has to figure out night and day. So 4 to 6, perfect, Sheila.
Right.
I love it.
Now,
I love it.
here's where I run into trouble. The weekend.
Yes.
On the weekend, I just want to come down and smell the baby. I just want to hold her and touch her and smell her and coo at her. Now, how can I propose that as a helpful situation? And what is the time limit on that?
Sheila, once again, I think for all parents and for new grandparents, to have set times that the parents can
Okay.
count on you, that you will be
Okay.
there providing relief. It gives them some relief. So then Ruthie will know, or Jeremy will know, they can take a nap.
Okay,
Sheila's
great.
going to be on duty. She's going to walk that baby around. You're going to take that baby out of the apartment so they don't hear the crying. You're just going to stretch that baby out.
Okay,
Walk
stretch
that
her
baby.
out. Okay.
Walk her around the block. You just
Well,
give
I'm
her
not
the
walking
fresh air.
her. I'm right.
Yes.
Yeah, the stroller. Now,
Yes.
right. Now that is an issue because they're in a very well, it doesn't matter. There are a lot of stairs. I'll do it, Julie.
You
I'll
do it.
stretch the baby
Again,
out.
Ruthie was raised in this building, and you
Four-
not in the same kind of building, like a downtown walk-up building. You did it when Ruthie was little, when she was your baby.
I'll do it. Liz, I was
Yeah.
40 years younger, but I hear what you're saying. No, I
Yes.
know what you're saying.
Sheila, you will be using muscles you haven't used in 40 years. You're going to be exhausted. So it's very
I'm
important.
going to be in good shape.
You're going to you have to remember to hydrate. You have to rest. You
and
are going to
take
be
my naps.
Yes, you are going to need a nap. Okay, let me tell you that. Yeah.
All right. So names. We got some great responses from the Satellite Sisters in terms of what I should name myself. Now, I teach reading to young kids, and if there's anything I know about, it's syllabication. It's not easy for a baby or a young child to say 2 syllables. Maybe mama or dada,
Yes.
but not Grandma Sheila. I mean, that's
Right.
a lot.
Too much.
No,
Too much.
no.
Yeah.
So I was going to go with a she or a lala.
Mhm.
I don't again.
I like
I don't.
I like it. I think it's good that you have a name that, you're comfortable with, and Ruth and Jeremy are going to have to, they're going to have to refer to you as something, so,
Right.
and
You
that's
think
sooner.
they-
Yeah. So the sooner the child starts to hear, whether it's Shishi, Lala, Lily, which was one of your childhood nicknames, but no, you don't like
You
that.
wanted us to call you Lily when you were a child, and
know.
we always refused.
Let's throw it in there. Maybe for once in my life, I can be called Lily by someone.
I
Yeah,
mean,
no.
I
anything
think that's
with one
good, but
syllable. I
pick a
think-
name, pick a name, because even before she is able to say your name, I mean, they're going to want to, they're going to want to say to the baby, Shishi's coming over. Lala's here. Look
Yes.
who's here. Lala.
Pump it
Lala
up,
made you
pump it up.
blackened chicken for dinner.
Right. Exactly, Julie. I want to
Okay,
I
okay.
want to be a known name, right? In our
Yes.
household.
Mhm.
Yes.
So
No hassle. Yes.
okay. What else? What else should I know? Any general
Okay, I have
tips?
a couple of other things. I mean, we've talked about this on Satellite Sisters, and that is the first photo. Okay, you have to think very carefully about your top, what you're wearing, because you're going to have that first picture of you and
Yes.
the baby, and that's going to be the picture that hangs around. Okay, and if you're
Yeah.
and if you've got like
Okay.
some horrible thing on, you're going
No.
to regret it for the rest of your life.
No.
And she's going to regret it. I mean, look at Shishi in that,
Yeah.
crummy top. No,
Okay.
plan an outfit right now for meeting the baby. Okay.
Okay. A solid top. I'm going with a solid top.
Yes. You have a beautiful color on today. I
Thank
think
you.
that would look very nice, but I have no doubt that you can pick something to wear, but think about it, sister. Okay.
Okay.
Looking
no.
at your background there, it looks like you've got plenty of choices there in your closet.
Okay, I've stepped it up since I moved to New York. I mean, you cannot wear athleisure wear to work around here, like in LA. So
Yes.
I have some really nice outfits, Julie.
Yes.
And here's the other thing, people. I live 3 blocks from the hospital.
Oh,
So
good.
I am going
Perfect.
to have my clothes, hair, makeup. I'm going to have it
Good.
all ready.
Sheila, hair and makeup. I usually don't recommend that to new grandmothers, but of course, Shishi, Lala is going to have,
Yeah.
she's going to have hair and makeup. And then it's going to be a beautiful photo that you're going to cherish. And you're going to be so proud of yourself that
Okay.
Look at
all
You're
you.
right.
going to think
Look at
that
you.
was a really good blowout. I'm glad I stopped on my way to the hospital to get a blowout. Now, this is also the hospital that Ruthie was born in, right?
Yes,
This
it
is where
is.
you gave birth.
Yes, it is. Yes,
I think
it
that's
is.
so nice.
A long time ago. So, I mean, go figure. Everything
That's very sentimental.
everything since I've moved back is just everything is working out. So yes, 3 blocks from the hospital. Outfit, check. Anything
Okay.
else, Julie?
Yeah, I would say this is the time before the baby's born, and it'll become and it will evolve, but you need to develop your signature style as a grandmother. I mean,
Okay.
what kind of grandmother are you going to be? Are you going to be baking Nana? Are you going to be
No.
Scrabble
No,
Nana?
I suspect not.
Okay,
No.
adventure Nana. But
No.
you will, I mean, there will be certain things that you and the child will do together that will give
Okay.
you both a great deal of
That's
pleasure.
good. That's good,
And
Julie. I
that's
like that.
your signature style. These are things that, that she may not do with her parents, but it's a special activity that, that she will do with you. I'm a
I
firm
like that.
I know, Sheila, it sounds like you've stepped up your clothing wear, but you're going to need to step down your clothing wear for babies. Okay.
Yes. Okay.
Other than
Yeah.
the photo. Other than the
Okay.
photo.
Other than the photo and the hair, but you need to wear soft washable tops. So when you
Okay.
are holding that baby and that delicate little skin is against your top and it's so cozy and they feel so
Yes.
secure, and that's what you want. Okay. Because then they're going to throw up on your top.
Right.
And
Right. Okay.
So you need to have that.
Soft,
then-
washable tops.
And then I think all
So
grandmothers.
far, we've just talked about clothes.
I know, but I
That's
have
good.
some more. Well, no, I talked about activities.
Of course
I
you
talked
did.
about that.
I'm
okay?
only kidding.
Okay. But then I also think that you have to have some things that, will really enchant the child. Okay. Maybe
Okay.
it's a necklace. Maybe it's a scent, like if you always wear a certain perfume or something like that.
Aromatherapy.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, something like that as the child grows, they know that she always has like a great necklace on or
Yes.
fun earrings. They love that,
Oh, you're
Sheila.
right. You're right,
Yeah.
Julie. This is all good.
And then
Because-
then you got to have a little magic about you as a grandmother. Okay. And I think the magic's got to be in your purse. Okay. This is what it is. So that
Julie, these
in
are
your purse,
excellent.
there's something that will delight the child, whether
Okay.
it's a secret little toy or, now one of my signature moves with my grandchildren is mints. I always have mints in my
Ooh,
purse.
a mint.
But you know what?
It goes a long way.
They know that. They know that Nana has mints. Okay.
Okay,
That
I
is
like
part
that,
of my
Julie.
magic. You see?
Yeah, I like
And
it.
that because
magic,
you are
yes.
creating this magical, wonderful, supportive relationship with this child. Okay. It's going in tandem with what the parents want. I'm a firm believer in that.
Yes.
You got to do it the way they want you to do it.
Okay.
But you have to create your own
I
magic
like that,
with this
Julie.
child.
Nana
Okay.
magic or
Yeah.
she magic.
Yeah, she magic.
Yeah.
I mean, as I was taking the crosstown bus home from my gym today, Julie, I saw a 2-year-old.
Yes.
And I watched as the 2-year-old was sort of touching the MetroCard machine and touching her face, and then a lot of bodily fluids coming out. And the only thing I could think of is get the wet wipes. What are you doing, parents? So I know I'm going to have wet wipes in my purse.
Yes, you will have wet wipe. That
So you're going
child.
to be sanitary shishi. Yes.
I am so. That is my signature. I mean, I will have
Yes.
that lavender scented wet wipes.
Yes.
Anything
Yes.
to enchant.
That child
And
will
clean.
never have a runny nose on your watch. No.
I mean, for what it's worth, that's always been your move. Long before COVID,
Yes.
this was your move. Yeah.
Yes. So wet wipes at all times. Little toys. I'm a big reading to children books.
Yes.
I'm going to have
yes.
a bag full of books with me. Always bring out a book. I have picture books ready for baby. I have them all ready. So yes.
See, that's it. You will have your bag. Yeah, I mean, you've always carried like 5 bags with you at all
I
times.
know, I've always, and yes, a little Mary Poppins bag where
Yes.
I have all the things that I need to keep baby happy
Yes. Yeah. See
and
that?
clean and clean.
Germ free.
And you know, and
so hard in New York City. Oh my God.
She will come to enjoy that. She will, I am sure you will make the washing of her little hands,
Yes.
the washing of her face. You'll get some special soft cloths,
Oh,
and you
yes.
will make it part of your special relationship, Sheila.
Right. And then I'll introduce her to coffee and it will be great. We can sit.
Well, maybe later on. Yes. I mean, there's, again, it's part of your magic, part of your style. It will evolve as the child grows. You'll develop your own favorite TV shows that you like to watch together.
Yes.
I mean, you're a grandmother, right?
I know.
You don't have to discipline this child.
It's
none of
so
that.
great, Julie. I'm so
I do
excited.
believe in manners. Now, I feel like that is part of my role as a grandmother, is the child needs to have manners. Okay.
Yes.
So that they, they know that it's, manners Nana over here. Like they, can't put their elbows on it.
Manners first. Okay.
Yes.
I think
Yeah.
respect and is very important.
Yes.
So,
yes.
Okay.
Yeah. All right.
Woo, Julie. It's a lot, and yet it's so exciting. And I think it's going to be a day by day journey.
Yeah.
But
it's so intuitive, Sheila, and you are going to fall in love with this child, and it's hard at this point to imagine that, but it will be instantaneous. And
Julie, this has been so helpful.
I couldn't be happier for you, Sheila. I really couldn't.
So Sheila, I'm assuming that Ruthie and Jeremy also want you there for the birth. Is that part of the plan? I know they have a doula and there are some other people involved, right?
Oh yes, I'm going to be there. Now
Yes.
it wasn't a flat out ask, but I'm there. I'm going there. I've taken the day off. They're going in the night before. So I don't know if I'm going to do that whole night, but at least a part of the night and then into the day. And then I will be at the hospital. There will be a doula, which I think is perfect for my daughter.
Mm-hmm.
She wants another woman besides me, and another person besides her husband in the room.
Okay. I think
I respect that. And then there's a little piece of this, the after doula. She comes maybe once a week just to set up the lactation and all of that.
Yeah, help with all that. I think it's wonderful, Sheila.
But I'm 4 to 6. If they grab at that package, I'm willing and able.
Yeah, and you just come in and do that. I will say that's important. Like, if the two parents are going to be tired. So the most important thing for you is to be rested and fresh.
Rested and ready.
Well,
and
I'm
silent.
not that fresh after work.
But you will be, Sheila. You will be. Just you will, and silent. You say nothing.
Oh, I say nothing, Julie.
Say nothing. The eyes, the face show no emotion. Just move
quietly about.
Because Ruth reads your face and she'll be like,
all the time.
I know what you're thinking. Right. So silent,
she
silent.
will not let me emote. It's just, yes, you're right.
Yeah. So that's what she.
No affect. Okay.
Yes.
Jill.
No affect.
All of that is super important.
Yeah. We do appreciate that you sent all of us a video of the baby's room. That was good. So we could see the shower gifts that had arrived and already been set up or in place. That was very helpful, because also in a New York City apartment, you never know, where is that child being stashed?
She's lucky she has her own room.
Yes.
That's the way I look at it.
Yes.
She's a very lucky little girl. Yes.
As I recall, Ruth never had a whole room, but she did have kind of a couple of walls walling her off from your living room.
She had no ceiling.
Oh, no ceiling.
Yeah. It was just 3/4 drywall. And we stuck her in there. But
she had a nook. She had a nook, which is nice. Yeah.
She had a nook. And I mean, what's better than a new baby being born in the family? Hey,
It's so exciting. It's so exciting.
Well, thank you for listening. I'm sure I'll be checking in when the baby's born.
I know,
Well,
can't wait.
come back if you have the energy, come back anytime. Maybe like after the first 3 or 4 months go by, you can make a return visit. Let us know how it's going.
On my day off.
Yeah. On your day off. But also, Sheila, your birthday is this week. So happy birthday. Right?
Thank you.
Birthday is coming right up. And it's so funny. I just saw you in New York 2 weeks ago, as you know. We were having dinner to celebrate my birthday.
Love it.
You and my friend Catherine Drew were on the Upper West Side having dinner. And I think I told you this, but I don't know if you saw it. But listener Elizabeth Keem said, she posted this in the Facebook group. I'm pretty sure I just spotted Liz in New York City at the Ribbon on 72nd Street. Didn't want to interrupt the birthday celebration, but I heard her voice and she caught my eye as I walked by. Was it her doppelganger? And I said, no, that was me. And I was with Sheila. And she said, I thought that was Sheila. So glad it was you.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable, because
Elizabeth, that's not my neighborhood, but
no,
you never know. You may see me again. Please say hello if you do see us.
Exactly. You should always say hello to Satellite.
Just that week on the show, Julie had been spotted in the wild in Oklahoma. Talk about random. He's randomly hiking in Oklahoma. And a listener said, was that Julie I saw on the trail? And it was true, Sheila. It was true.
Oh, yes. Please say hello. Please.
So, Elizabeth and others at NYC, you can keep your eyes peeled for a brand new urban nana.
That's right.
Don't call her Shishi or Lala yet. That is yet
TBD. But
TBD. Yeah. Okay. Well, good luck.
Sheila, we're so excited.
Thank you, sisters.
What a happy time.
We know secretly one of the reasons you moved back to New York is you kind of had your fingers crossed, right?
Yes, of course I did, but I had no idea it would actually happen.
Yes.
And it just, again, everything's worked out. So I'm sure that everything will be fine with the baby too.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, we can't wait to hear.
Much love to you and to Ruthie and to Jeremy and to the baby.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, sisters. Bye-bye.
Bye.
If you're anything like me, and Julie, I suspect you are.
Because we're related. We're sisters. Yes.
And we have traveled together. Like when you travel, I buy posters or small pieces of art and then get them home, which I really enjoy. But then sometimes I just stare at them for weeks or even months, never quite getting around to framing them. Have you ever done that? Just delayed way too long?
I've got a backlog right now, Liz. Yes.
Backlog. Well, FrameBridge is here to help you with your backlog. This weekend, I realized that I had 2 matching posters that I bought on a trip when we were in Argentina together. And, almost everything in my home is something I bought somewhere in my travels.
I love that. I love that about your home, Liz. It's very colorful and very interesting. Yes.
Thank you. But I never quite got around to framing these 2. So this weekend I got online with FrameBridge.
Oh, good.
It's so simple. You put in all the info. I needed measurements, what style my home is, and then just a few simple things. And then I asked the FrameBridge designers, Julie, to make recommendations about a frame and mat them. Because I wanted something a little bit different than what I normally do, especially in the matting department, right?
Okay.
So they are sending me a pre-addressed tube that I'll get next week. And then they'll send me their design recommendations and boom, I'll get them back in less than a month at a great price. I am really so happy about this.
And you never left your house. You haven't had to leave your house to do this, Liz.
No,
That's amazing.
And it's true of everyone, Julie. We can all get started today. Framing your own photos or art or creating the perfect gift for someone. It's not too early to start on the holidays.
Oh, you're right.
Here's what you do. You go to framebridge.com and use the promo code SATSisters to save an additional 15% off your first order. So that's framebridge.com, promo code SATSisters. Framebridge.com, promo code SATSisters. It's actually so easy and so fun. It's this moment, Julie. Cooking with Liz is here to talk about cooking with Green Chef.
Okay. I know you love that Green Chef, Liz.
Yeah, I do.
Well, I do too.
If you've watched my videos, then you'll know that a key word in my kitchen is elevate, that both you and Leanne have always encouraged me to kick it up a notch, right?
Right. I mean, move away from the balsamic vinegar. That's mainly what we're saying to you. Like, try some other spices.
Yes.
Sauces. Yes.
So, but you have to start with the basic ingredients, right? So I'm a longtime fan of Green Chef because they use USDA certified organic ground beef and organic chicken, wild caught salmon, all the stuff I love. Plus, they have more customization than ever before. So I can swap in whatever protein suits my tastes. And all of the ingredients are just super fresh and delicious. So I just went online ordering my box for next week. You get so many choices. Sometimes it's hard because it all looks so delicious. So what do you think of this choice, Julie? Creamy chicken with caper sauce and roasted acorn squash.
Oh, you got me with the capers, Liz. I mean, I'm all in. That sounds like a delicious midweek meal.
Yeah. So it's so convenient and easy, yet elevated, right?
Elevated.
And we know this. And that's partly because their pre-made and pre-measured sauces, dressings, and spices give me that chef curated flavor in less time. You know, the chef curated flavor I aim for. Let's just say that, right?
Yes, exactly.
So I cannot recommend Green Chef enough because the cooking part of it is actually fun too. So go to greenchef.com/sisters135 and use the code sisters135 to get $135 off across 5 boxes, and your first box ships free. So let me repeat that because this is a great deal.
It's a good deal.
It's really good. So go to greenchef.com/sisters135 and use the code sisters135 to get $135 off across 5 boxes, and your first box ships free. So you will love it. I totally recommend this. It's the #1 meal kit for eating well. We are back and we're going to do a little entertaining sisters here in a bit. But first, even though Leanne's not here, we did want to remind you of some of Leanne's upcoming appearances. And we explain them on the podcast, but all of the info is always at leandolan.com on her events page. So if you're trying to catch up with her on her tour to talk about Lost and Found in Paris, her latest book, that's all at leandolan.com. First up, Julie, you helped arrange what sounds like a delightful event in Dallas.
Yes, I'm very excited about this. Liz, we were just talking in the last segment about spotting satellite sisters in the wild.
Yes.
I mean, here's your chance, people. Come to Dallas, Texas, because on Thursday, October 13th, between 3 and 5 p.m., Leanne is going to be signing books at Rise Cafe, which is the perfect French restaurant here in Dallas, Texas. They're known for their super delicious soufflés, Liz. I know you've been there. So it's going to be a great event. There will be satellite sisters there. I'm going to be there too. So helping Leanne. Yes,
multiple sisters in the wild.
Multiple sisters in the wild. This is your chance. Make it an afternoon. That all the information about how to register, and this event you do need to register, is on Leanne's page at leandolan.com. But make it an afternoon. You can come see Leanne. You can have a delicious souffle. You can visit with me. You can meet some of my real friends and satellite sister friends. It's going to be delightful. Okay.
All right. That's Dallas on October 13th. And then Leanne will be in Dayton on October 22nd. So there's a meetup there. Again, details online. Then on the 27th of October, she will be in Southport, Connecticut at the Pequot Library. That is our home library where we grew up as children. Leanne spent a lot of quality time at the Pequot Library. So check that out on October 27th. And then she will be on Long Island on October 29th at the East Meadow Library. And that's a book talk and a signing. It's free, but you do need to register for that. And the registration starts October 10th. Again, all the information at leandolan.com on the events page. All right, Jewel, our Satellite Sisters of the Week.
Yes, we have to talk about Roger Federer and Rafa Nadal. If you are not a tennis fan, this past weekend, Roger Federer retired at the Laver Cup match in London, playing doubles with his longtime rival, Rafa Nadal. Roger Federer is really considered the best in the game, and it really was quite the farewell. At one point, Rafa Nadal and Roger Federer were sitting on a bench. They were both crying and holding hands. And so, Liz, I want to ask you, because you've been in the sports business, everybody knows that. You've been around a lot of sports professionals. What did you make of that farewell? What did you make of the rivalry? That this is like 2 decades rivalry between these two incredible competitors.
Yeah.
What did you make of this event?
Well, it says, well, you know how much I love Rafa Nadal. So, okay, I've always sort of rooted for Rafa against Roger. However, it says so much about Roger Federer that he chose for his last pro appearance to be in this team environment, which the Laver Cup is, right? He was playing doubles with Rafa on his team against a world team. He even lost, the doubles match. So the fact that he chose to like go out as part of a group instead of going out as like the greatest man of all time, that says a lot about the guy. And then he was interviewed. You can look on YouTube. I put a link in the show notes. His interview afterwards with Jim Courier. I'm sure you saw that, Julie, right?
Yes, I did. Yes.
Yeah. So Courier says to him, you've gone from being a young boy to being a sporting icon. Like, what's that like? And Federer said, it was never supposed to be that way. I was just happy to play tennis and spend time with my friends. And I was like, yes. I mean, it was great. And I mean, yes, you're right. I've spent a lot of my career in sports. Those rivalries are super intense. So, but it just goes to show the respect that the athletes have for each other when they've been in that kind of great rivalry. It's like Agassi versus Sampras. Remember? Same kind of thing. But it was just super emotional.
It really was something. It says, I think it's great for tennis. And I know Rafa Nadal, his wife is about to have a baby, Liz. So, really? I mean, he made a special appearance for Roger to show up, and he didn't stay to play in the rest of the tournament. They worked that out. He just came for Roger. So that was sweet. It was a great moment. And, there's so many bad moments in sports and bad behavior in sports. When you see something like this, I think you just have to celebrate it, right?
Yep. Yeah. And we just love to talk about friendship. So here you go. That was just a beautiful example of a beautiful friendship. And, the way the tennis business works, I mean, it's not like he's going to disappear forever. He'll have like business dealings at future tournaments. So they'll be friends forever, which is really nice to think about. So, okay. Well done, Rafa and Roger.
Well, worth watching. If you have not seen it, go back and watch the interview.
Totally. Even if you're not a huge tennis fan, I think you would appreciate just the emotion of the moment after such a career, like seeing Serena at the end of her career.
Correct.
It's just a lot comes together in that moment for someone who is as great as Serena was or Roger was. Okay. Moving on. I have an entertainment recommendation.
Oh, good.
Okay. This weekend I watched, there's a brand new documentary called Sydney, which is on Apple TV Plus. And it's it's the life of Sidney Poitier. And it was produced by Oprah. So, I have to watch that. Right?
Yes.
And, I mean, okay, here's an amazing actor, an amazing man. And there was so much I did not know about his life. And it was directed also by Reggie Hudland, who is a super talented director. So I just highly recommend, if you think Sidney Poitier, You don't.
Okay.
There's a lot of
I have always admired him, for a long time. So I'd be very interested in that. Okay.
Yeah. So there's a really thoughtful interview, Julie, with his first wife and children from his first marriage, because that ended poorly with his affair with Diane Carroll, which I had never really thought about that part of it. And then one of the people they interview in the documentary is Lenny Kravitz, who is apparently Diane Carroll's nephew. Did you know that? I did not. Did not know that.
Okay, we all know it now. So that's something. I mean, that's news you can use. I mean, you can sprinkle that around. Yeah.
Now it's possible when he keeps calling her my aunt, that it's more of a, just auntie. But anyway, it made it sound like he was related to her. Anyway, then a lot about his deep involvement in the civil rights movement. Talk about friendship. He had an amazing but volatile friendship with Harry Belafonte. That's a really interesting part of the movie. And then other commentators they have throughout are people that knew him really well, like Morgan Freeman is in it, Robert Redford is in it, Babs is in it, Barbara Streisand is in it, Denzel Washington. They all knew him really well. And then also some other just cultural voices. Spike Lee is in it. Halle Berry is in it. And as I mentioned, Lenny Kravitz. Can never get enough Lenny Kravitz. So that is Sydney on Apple TV Plus. Totally recommend that.
Okay. Good one, Liz. I like that.
Okay. And then one other comment I just want to make to you, because last week on the show, you recommended it's the new season of the Great British Baking Show.
Yes. Are you in? Are you watching?
Yes, of course. So I had to get all caught up with that, so they've only dropped the first 2 episodes. So I caught up with that. And I sort of had a light bulb moment of why I could never be. I mean, there are many reasons, but the biggest reason why I could never be
on the show. Okay. Well, first of all, you're not British, but go ahead. Okay.
But here's what the really good ones do, Julie, which I've never done in my whole life.
What's that?
Very commonly, they try something and then they don't like the way it turns out. So they dump it and they start over. They look at the camera. They said, well, I'll just have to do that again.
Yes.
That is something that you would never see happening on Cooking with Flavor. we're just gonna make the best of whatever it was. And so with baking, I guess you can't really fake it that way. Anyway, the idea of starting over, you're on a clock and you're starting over. I just really admire those people, and I would never be one of them.
Okay, Liz. Okay, good to know. But when things are curdling, you might want to start over. Okay. Well, I'm not going to eat any of your baked goods ever. So that's fine.
I wouldn't recommend that. No. And I'm not forcing them on anyone either, but it looks like it's going to be a good season. And I know you predicted the winner on last week's podcast. Yeah. So I saw who you predicted, and I can see why you're a believer, but there's some other strong competitors. So
they are. I know. It's very early in the season, so everybody can get in on it. Hey, Liz, I have a recommendation for you. Did you read the book Hamnet by Maggie O'Farrell? Did you enjoy it?
I really enjoyed that. I got to say, it took me a little while to get into it because, it's unusual. But yes, I enjoyed it.
Okay, well, then you should definitely run, don't walk to go get her newest book, The Marriage Portrait by Maggie O'Farrell. And this is a fascinating new novel. It's set in the Renaissance, Liz. Okay. Renaissance Italy. And it centers on the life of a young Duchess, Lucrezia de Medici. Okay. Set in 1550s. Okay. And you think, well, how can this be interesting? But this is so suspenseful. It is so involving. There's a lot of family drama associated to this. This is a story of a young girl who, through a series of events, is promised in marriage to a duke. Okay. And you don't know if the Duke is on the good side, or you don't know what the Duke's intentions are.
You just don't know about the Duke.
You just don't know about it. Okay. But you know her writing style. I mean, some people have a very sparse writing style, but Maggie O'Farrell's writing style is incredibly rich. The descriptions, of life in the 1550s, is amazing. So this is a very involving book, so well written. I would highly recommend recommend it to you and to anyone else. And if you haven't read Hamnet, you don't need it to read it to understand this book, but both books are outstanding. So
this is fiction?
This is fiction.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
all right.
But it's historic fiction.
Okay.
It's based on a real young duchess,
Okay.
Italian duchess.
All right.
So
Okay.
the marriage portrait. Excellent.
All right.
Okay.
We will put a link in the show notes to The Marriage Portrait by Maggie Farrell. Okay. I just have one quick hit because I thought you and Leanne both needed to know this, though I'm not sure you will be able to take advantage of this opportunity. I was in New York last week on my way to Cape Cod.
Yes.
And, the season is opening in New York, Broadway is opening and other events, cabarets are opening. You are never going to believe, well, you missed his first engagement, but coming back, playing at the famous Cafe Carlyle, October 7th and 8th, is one of you and Lee, and this guy is one of your favorites.
Really?
And yes.
Okay.
You know who it is? I won't even make it. Yeah.
No, I don't know. Who is it?
Okay.
Who is it?
It's Eric Bergen. He was one of the stars you loved.
Oh my gosh.
You
Yes.
loved the TV show Madam Secretary.
Yes.
But everyone in that show was from Broadway.
Yes.
Super talented. He had been in Jersey Boys, right?
Yes.
So Eric Bergen, in case, you want to throw some stuff in that weekend bag for me.
Yes. I
Get
know
up.
the shoes in the bottom. Yes. Go on.
He's at the Cafe Carlyle again on October 7th and 8th. I know it's a long shot, just putting it out there because it's, that seems like an evening packed full of entertainment.
That would be so fun to see him. He is such a great performer, such a great singer. Oh, that would be enchanting. Okay. I don't know if
it's a long shot. I know.
It is a long shot. Okay.
I thought we should at least recognize him because you and Leanne were such super fans in the TV show Madam.
Thank you. Okay. Well, maybe some satellite sister can go to that.
Yes.
Please
go and report back on your findings.
Yes, we would like that. Speaking of satellite sisters, I have a quick hit. One of the big discussions on our Satellite Sisters Facebook group and also pretty much all over the internet are butter boards. Do you know what I'm talking about, Liz? Butter boards.
Well,
okay.
I saw that in the Satellite Sisters Facebook group. At first I thought this cannot be real, but
that's what I thought. I thought it was a joke, but it is, you take a board, you spread softened butter, and then you put things on top and you serve it with bread and radishes. Okay. And this is supposed to be an intriguing and delicious new appetizer. Okay. Well, there has been a lot of discussion about this, but I am just so grateful to one of our satellite sisters, Kathleen Quinn, who wrote in on the Facebook group. She said, OMG on the butter boards, hard no. Okay, listen to this, Liz.
Okay.
She spent years working for an outstanding butter company, Kerrygold. Have you ever tried Kerrygold butter, Liz?
I love Kerrygold.
I
love
actually
like my brand of choice, Julie.
Okay.
I love the Kerrygold. She worked there?
She works there. So she's a butter expert. And she said, I will tell you, butter goes soft, squishy, runny, and oily really, really quickly once it is out of the fridge. And, it's harder to scrape off surfaces as a result, particularly slate. Okay, because that looks really good on for an appetizer to have that piece of slate. But don't put the butter on the slate. That's what Kathleen is saying. She said, I love, love, love butter and let it love you back. Okay. You hear that? Right. That is the final word on butter boards, Liz. Hard no, love butter and let butter love you back, but don't spread it on slate. Okay.
Okay. We just have such an amazing community that we have a true butter believer in the community who's going to give us the right steer on butter boards.
Yeah.
So,
okay. And I'm just telling you, it's on the horizon. I don't even want to go there. Cream cheese boards. Okay. Just don't even say that. Don't even
now that you've said it, that sounds delicious. I do feel like in the post-COVID world, the idea of all of us smearing together on the same board, like something that I wouldn't have been hung up about like 3 years ago. Now, I'm just not sure that's the way into the future.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah. Butter or no butter. everyone in the same, smushing around in the same area. That would be a hard no for me too, Jewel. So, okay. Thank you, butter believer Kathleen. We believe in you. All right. Well, this has been fun. We've covered everything, Julie, from Big Ten football to Russia to becoming a new grandmother to butter. It's what a show. Leon's going to be very proud of us when she hears this. So we would like to thank always to Sergio Enriquez, our engineer. He's the one that makes us sound great. Also, Emily Loudermilk. Emily does our graphics. So you see those after every show. She listens to the show and then she just creates whatever she wants that she thinks captures the spirit of the episode.
I know, it's always fun to see what she picks, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, she surprises us. So, and we just, so that always goes in our Facebook group. So follow us on Facebook at Sad Sisters. And then we use them in, I'm sorry, did I say Facebook? I meant Instagram. Instagram. So you'll see that at Sad Sisters on Instagram, and then you'll see it in Facebook. So thank you, Emily. Thanks always to our sponsors. When you support them, that keeps our show going and growing. Plus, they really are great. We do love our sponsors. We don't just say that. So thank you to all of this week's sponsors. And okay, Joel, to-do lists for the week. What do you have? What do you have going on?
I have the Southern pumpkin dilemma going on. Okay. If you live in the South, you know what I'm talking about. It's fall now. You want to put out your pumpkins. You want to have those decorations and have it look great. But the thing is, Liz, it's still hot here. Okay. It's still like in the 80s and 90s. So if you buy your pumpkin now, okay, it's going to rot. And then it creates mosquitoes swarm around the rotten pumpkins. However, if you wait, okay, for the possibility of cold weather, which we may have by the end of October, all the pumpkins, because they've been out, will be rotten. Okay. So
rotten anyway.
It's just, it's just hard to know like when to get your pumpkin, and will it last to Halloween? I don't know, but that's the dilemma that all Southerners, anyone living in a warm climate now faces is when to get the pumpkins. How about you?
Okay. All right. Well, I mentioned at the very top of the show that I love water aerobics. So this week, actually tonight, I am introducing a very good friend of mine to water aerobics for the first time. She lives, my friend Federer, who you've met.
Yes.
She wanted to try it. And but she doesn't consider herself a strong swimmer. So she was a little bit daunted by it. I was like, no, for God's sakes, you have a flotation belt around your waist. And the pool where I go, sort of alternating nights, they have shallow water and deep water aerobics. So tonight we're going to do a little intro to shallow water aerobics. And I'm going to see if I can get someone new engaged in water aerobics, Julie. I'm very excited about it.
A water aerobics mentor. Who would have thought? Good work, sister. Good work.
Thank you. I'm doing what I can. All right. This was fun. I hope everyone enjoyed listening. We are the Satellite Sisters. Don't forget, call your satellite sister.